Parliament Denar Hamisi succumbs after a tragic road crash in Loresho. A ministerial acting group at Commonwealth raises concerns over breaches of human rights in Tanzania, particularly before and after recent elections. All right, thank you for joining us. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. We kick it off from Tanzania, where the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group has set specific conditions for Tanzania, expressing concern over reported breaches of fundamental democratic values and human rights in the country. The decision was made during the 71st CMAG meeting held virtually on December 5th, chaired by Malta's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs and Tourism, Dr. Ian Borge. The group raised concerns over the growing threats to democracy, the rule of law, judicial independence, human rights, and democratic space in Tanzania, particularly before and after the recently held elections, which President Samia Suluhu won with 98% of the vote. The meeting acknowledged a report from Tanzania's Foreign Minister, Ambassador Mahmoud Thabit Kombo, and commended Commonwealth Secretary General's swift action in appointing former Malawian President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera as the special envoy to assist the country. However, the Commonwealth placed Tanzania on their formal agenda for its next meeting in March 2026, with any decision made based on the country meeting 4 requirements. This include full and unrestricted access for Chakwera to all relevant stakeholders, lifting of restrictions on freedom of assembly, expression, civil society, the media, and organization of an inter-party consultative forum to agree on a framework for the next election. Back locally, the United Opposition leaders are urging top ODM party leaders to reassess the opposition in the broad-based government, warning them not to abandon Raila Odinga's political vision, especially his directive that ODM fields a presidential candidate in 2027 and distances itself from the broad-based arrangement. Now, Wiper leader Kalonzo'S spoke during the funeral of Beryl Odinga, the sister of the late Raila Odinga in Bondo.
Kenya haiwezi kuwa nchi nyingine. Ni lazima tujizoeze kwamba our brother Raila, our sister here, stood for open governance and true democracy and detribalized country. How I wish, and Kajang, you really you moved my heart when you said you had hoped that in the years past we would have come here to celebrate differently. What a celebration to have seen Raila Odinga being sworn in as the president of the Republic of Kenya. But what happened? Wenzangu, nikamilishe. What happened? Tutaulizana maswali haya. I said myself, General Ogola was taken out, a member of this community. I still stand by that statement. We are going to have to interrogate every circumstance so that as men and women, brothers and sisters in Luo Nyanza, in every part of the country, we will be led by the Raila vision. Never betray what our brother Raila stood for. And therefore, that is my mission to you, Ndugu. As you do your broad-based arrangements, we have no problem. Raila left you at that. But also Raila said, up to 2027, fine. Up to that time, tutaongea hayo mengine Kajwang. And I will tell you, because 15 years with brother Raila Odinga was not just a joke. It was a very deep relationship. A relationship anchored on the democratic values of our country and the future we wanted to bequeath to our young citizens, including our agencies. Therefore, sio jambo la msaha tuone kamba tunaweza tu hivi to rearrange namna hii bila kuulizana, wewe uliua watu wangapi, ulinock out nani, kwa nini ukaumiza jamii, and I will be there for you.
Meru County continues to face a significant challenge with teenage pregnancies, a problem largely attributed to high poverty levels in affected areas. The most impacted regions are Tigania and Igembe, renowned for the miraa cash crop. This raises questions about whether miraa generates as much income as widely perceived. According to James Mbote, the Deputy County Commissioner of Meru, 2 research studies conducted this year revealed alarming statistics. Between January and May 4th, 360 girls aged between 10 and 19 became pregnant in Meru County, with 277 of this number aged between 10 to 14 years. Mbote warned that the situation could worsen during the upcoming festive season if stakeholders fail to take collective action. Stanley Gitari, a former community health coordinator at Maua Methodist Hospital and founder of Sonso Kenya, a rescue center for vulnerable children based in Maua town, highlighted poverty as the primary driver of teenage pregnancies in Tigania and Igembe.
Imagine tumejua ya kwamba between January and May this year, watoto 4,360 between 10 and 19 years walipata mimba. 10 and 19 years. Na hiyo is from January to May only. Sahi tuko November. Naomba tusipewe hiyo report sahi because now we will be more discouraged.
On a special task force established by the judiciary on matter student, which is headed by my sister Justice Madeka. Ni kuonesha kuwa ambayo ina wakati wote inakutana kuweka mikakati ya kuboresha huduma ya haki kwa watoto. Kwa hivyo ni kuoneshana kuwa upande wa mahakama sisi tumeweka haki za watoto tumepatia kipaumbele.
Because teenage pregnancy, poverty is one. When there is no money for food, for fees, for pant, for clothing or anything, the girl will go out to look for money. And there are people there, men, sorry to say, they are there. And they are looking for these young girls. And then there's disadvantage to these girls. And there's even abuse. You have heard there's rape, there's sexual abuse, and these girls get teenage pregnancy.
She doesn't have information about the periods. When the periods come, what can happen? What are the consequences if she has early sex? So in the process, because she doesn't know, she doesn't have the knowledge that also she can use protective gear like the CD, ask the man to wear, and she'll just accept the sex without any protection, and in the process she can get pregnant.
Principal Secretary for Livestock and Development Jonathan Mweke has dismissed claims by Wiper leader Kalonzo'S that the Mbeere North by-elections was manipulated, insisting that victory was a direct result of development delivered under the Kenya Kwanza administration. Mweke said the government's transformation agenda continues to resonate with voters who are responding to tangible improvements in their communities.
Juzi nyinyi wananchi muliona hapa jirani Mbeere kulikuwa na uchaguzi. Mulipata habari? Mulipata habari? Nani alishinda hiyo uchaguzi? Kwa mlengo ya nani? Ya serikali. Kwa sababu wananchi sahi wamechanuka. Rais hakupata hizo kura zote juu ati watu wa Mbeere wanampenda kama mtu, hapana. Ni yule kijana alipata pesa ya Hustler Fund, akapigia rais. Yule mwingine akapata pesa ya Nyota, akaanzisha biashara, akapigia rais. Kijana mwingine kutoka Higher Education Funding, akapata loan, akalipiwa university, akapigia rais. Mwingine akapata kula, wakapigia rais. Mwingine akapata subsidy ya fertilizer, akapigia rais. Mwingine mama mboga alikuwa anauza kwa mvua, akichomeka na jua, akapata modern market, akapigia rais. Mwingine kwa kijiji akapata last mile stima kwa nyumba yake, akapigia rais. Mwingine mfugaji akapata vaccination, akapigia rais. Mkulima wa kahawa mapato yake ikaenda double, akapigia rais. Nyinyi munaona hiyo trend ya maendeleo? Watu sahi wanaangalia ni nini serikali inawafanyia. Ndio mumeona hapa PS Gitonga ametangaza zile viti zote 7 zilienda kwa mrengo ya serikali kwa sababu ya miradi serikali inafanya kuinua wananchi wetu bottom up na kuhakikisha watu wetu wapate pesa mfukoni. Leo tuko hapa na waziri wetu Mutahi Kagwe, maneno ya dairy. Tumeleta milk coolers 4 za hii area ya South Imenti kwa sababu tunajua nyinyi ni wakulima wa bidii na mnazalisha maziwa zaidi.
Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja has reassured city residents that more roads will be tarmacked in the coming weeks as the county's ongoing upgrade program accelerates. Speaking during a tour of newly completed roads in Kilimani and Kileleshwa, the governor inspected recent works on Likoni Lane in Kilimani, as well as Durham and Gishugu roads in Kileleshwa. Sakaja said the upgrades form part of a ward-by-ward plan to restore Nairobi's road network, noting that the effort targets all 85 wards and is meant to deliver practical improvements rather than temporary patches.
We're doing very well. We had promised the people that we'll upgrade roads. After the rains, a lot of the roads deteriorated. And so all across the city, in all the 17 sub-counties, we're doing quite a number of upgrades, reconstruction. Today we're in Kileleshwa and Kilimani Ward, where this was a big problem. Right now, apart from the 2.1 billion first lot that is done, I have another 1.5. And from the 1.5, 587 is for drainage improvement. You see, the challenge that people have never understood in Nairobi is that there are some roads that are managed at the national level by Kenya and Kura. But we said, Nairobians don't understand that. So I take responsibility. And that's why I've been looking for resources to do even those roads. Because what Nairobians want is service delivery. Not many stories, just service delivery. That when you raise an issue, it is sorted out. And then they can see value for their.
Pressure is mounting on learning institutions to invest in modern training equipment, with experts warning that theory-heavy teaching is leaving graduates unprepared for real-world demands, especially in medical fields where errors can be costly. This comes as Mount Kenya University boosts its dental and paramedic training with new equipment aimed at strengthening hands-on learning.
The institution of higher learning usually invest in equipment for practical purpose, because most of the courses is based on the work of the hand. There is a cases where some interns or even some new employees do some grievous mistake, and these are human beings we are dealing with. So what is needed, what a patient needs, is your service of your hand. If you cannot manipulate using your own hands, but you have it up in your mind, it doesn't help. So practicals is necessary for you to do and go and fit, and also to give a safe environment for the patient.
A student taking a course that is in the medical field, I've come to realize that it's very important for schools that are offering any course to invest very much in equipment, because it's not just enough to do theory. I've realized that with just theory and just practical, without now being introduced to the very critical equipment, it's not that helping, because you will find that yes, you will understand the theory, but you have not been exposed to the equipment. So it's good that all institutions invest so much in the equipments that are necessary, especially in the medical field.
The equipment that the school introduced will help us as the students to create a safe environment while doing clinical procedures for the patient. The equipment will help us to learn on specific procedures that will not cause any harm to the patient.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, has announced the death of nominated Member of Parliament Joseph Denar Hamisi. Wetangula described Hamisi's death as a significant loss, not only to the House, but also to the nation. Deputy Leader of the Majority Party in the National Assembly, Owen Baya, has been appointed to lead a team coordinating a befitting send-off of the late MP. Before joining Parliament, Hamisi held several key positions in both the private and public sectors. His public service record includes roles as the Director of the Coast Development Authority from 2007 to 2010, the Commissioner at the Electoral Commission of Kenya from 2007 to 2008, and director at Kenya Airports Authority from 2009 to 2012. He also served as director of the Kenya National Accreditation Services from 2011 to 2012 and was a council member at the University of Nairobi and Moi University between 2013 and 2022.
Kwenda pale kitu ya kwanza alikuwa already ashalala, damu inatoka pande ile, so hatukuweza kuongea na yeye ile. Ndio niite wenzangu wakuje ndio tusaidie kutoa nje. Kwanza kutoa ilikuwa shida, kichwa ilikuwa imejifinya ndani, pande hii mlango wezi fungua. Pale akili ya kupikia polisi ndio tujue venye tunafanya, ndio sasa ikakuja. So polisi walitupata already kama tumemtoa nje, ndio tukasaidiwa kuanzia hapo sasa.
We condole with the family and we send our best wishes as well to friends and those who are mourning. Bumula Member of Parliament Jack Wanami Wamboka has called on the government to release capitation to schools in the wake of funding gaps in the education sector. The Member of Parliament slammed the culture of tokenism in the country, says it claws back gains in the education and health sectors.
Education system, na tukiwa hapa, we want to urge the government to honor the capitation budget. Sisi hatutaki tokenism. A country is defined by two fundamental things: healthcare and education. Kama matibabu itakuwa sawa, you don't have to call big meetings, set house, kuambia watu ati SHA inafanya. Huyu mwananchi mama amekaa chini anajua kama SHA inafanya maifai. Now that is a matter of the board. Nyinyi mkae kama board. Nobody should and will micromanage. Come up with your own programs. Mimi sifuatilii siasa kwa shule. Na mtu ukileta siasa kwa shule, basi unakuwa adui wangu na lazima tumalizane. Yes. I want the school to run. Let the board of governors, let the management run the school. Sisi sasa tunataka matokeo. Hakikisha wanafunzi wanapata masomo ambayo iliwaleta hapa. We want to transform their lives. Tunataka hao wanafunzi wakitoka hapa wawe bora zaidi kuliko vile wamekuja. We want them to be ready for the market. Waende wafanye kazi.
See, if you don't prepare today, you do not have to. And if why Gen Zs, I think most people are coming here Gen Zs, I guess.
Now, beyond our borders, gunmen stormed a hostel in South Africa's capital, Pretoria, on Saturday, killing 11 people, including a 3-year-old child at a site police said was illegally selling alcohol. The attack is the latest in a string of mass shootings that have shocked the crime-weary country of 63 million people, which suffers one of the highest murder rates in the world. Police confirmed 10 had died at the scene in Salisbury Township, 18 kilometers west of Pretoria, while another died in hospital. 3 gunmen entered what they described as an illegal shebang within the hostel at around 4:30 a.m. and indiscriminately fired at a group of men who were drinking. 1 12-year-old boy and a 16-year-old female were also killed in the attack.
Confirmed as deceased. 10 died on this particular scene and 1 died in hospital. We've got 14 victims in hospital. We've got 3 young children that are forming part of those that are deceased, the youngest being 3 years of age. We've also got a 12-year-old boy, I think it's a 16-year-old female as well, that were killed in this particular shooting. The rest of the deceased, which is 8, are adults. Our investigations are continuing. There is a multidisciplinary team that we have mobilized, consisting of at a provincial level, district and station level. We have our forensic experts, as we would have seen. We've got our ballistics experts already on the scene. And we have registered a case of 11 counts of murder, as well as 14 counts of
Now to sports. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has urged members of parliament to allocate more funds to the sports sector, saying athletics remains Kenya's strongest global branding asset. Speaking during the third edition of the Great Chepsaita cross-country run in Uasin Gishu County, Wetangula said the country's athletes continue to elevate Kenya's profile by showcasing unmatched resilience and excellence on international stages. He commended the event organizer Farouk Kibet for spearheading initiatives that nurtures talents across all age groups.
Hasa wabunge kule bungeni, allocate more resources to sports so that we can grow our talents. There is no country, not even America, not even China, not even Germany, that has their national anthem playing in international capitals more than Kenyans. This is because of the tenacity, determination, and the will of our athletes. I love football, but I love athletics even more. Because every time I see our girls, our boys, beating the world, you feel proud and happy to be a Kenyan. I want to salute General Tuwei. I saw here my good friend, Paul Kennedy. I don't know if my good friend Moses Kiptano is here, but above all, I saw the young Beatrice Jebet, the latest sensation on our Kenyan track. I don't know if Faith Kipyegon is also here, but I want to say this, that Kenya is a powerhouse in athletics.
Now to the Women's Premier League, Kibera Soccer won 2-0 against Kisumu All-Stars. And here now is Kibera's Catherine Nabiso, who's a midfielder, as well as Vivian Shionzo, and the coach for Kibera Soccer Women, George Bob.
Leo kidogo imekuwa tricky. Tumejituma yetu yote, but ni luck tu. Tumepata chances, lakini imekataa. Okay, create chances, but finishing yetu ndio imekuwa poa sana.
Mimi imekuwa poa. Leo tumejituma, tumejicompose. At least leo tumesema lazima tutoke na win. Nimeona kila mtu amejituma na kila mtu amegive the best. Yeah, hata mimi nimefeel poa, nimemake save, nimepea assist. Yeah, nimefeel too poa and more wins to come.
Than we expected. But we had a great week of practice. And we felt that, we'd really dominate possession today, but, for some reason we had a few injuries. Actually, most of our midfield got hurt during the game, so we had to replace players. But all in all, in as much as we did not play as well as we know we are capable of playing, we've played some very good games and lost. So a win is a win is a win. So very proud of my girls, and we're glad that we have the 3 points.
All right, that big news from the Women's Premier League marks the end of our bulletin tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Blessed Sunday ahead.